Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to another episode here on European Confessions. The following story that you're going to be listening to, it was sent to me by one of our dear sister who helped us with this translation. Strange things indeed they do happen in this world. The message reads like this. Hello, how are you? I know that people are going to judge me. To them, I want to say, you may judge me, but you never understand the desperation that led me down this path. My name is Hayden, and I have been living with the weight of a decision, and it has been haunting me each and every single day. What I am about to confess to you, it might shock you, but I feel like I need to share my own story, not to seek for forgiveness, but to warn anyone who is thinking about doing the things that I did. If you are easily disturbed, you might not even want to listen to my story. But if you want the truth about this thing that we call Ukuthwala rituals, the real dark truth, you may stay with me, because this is my story and it's not like anything that you have heard before. It all started about 6 years ago. I was 22, fresh out of college and struggling to find a job. Our economy, it was not doing any of us any favors. And my parents, when I went to school, when I was in college, they made a mistake that they went to Manjonisa and then they got some money from the loan sharks, and they had to settle the debts. I was the oldest, and my mother kept reminding me how much they were counting on me to make it in life. But no matter how hard I tried, doors kept slamming in my face. Jobs were scarce, and the few that I could get did not pay enough to even cover the basics, let alone make me the provider of my family, as my parents expected me to be. So I started feeling like a failure. That was when I heard about Ukuthwala. My cousin, whom I'll call Tando, had made it overnight. All of a sudden, the guy was just rich overnight. He went from barely affording taxi fare to driving a brand new BMW, moving into a mansion, and suddenly becoming Mr. Big Shot in the neighborhood. I was curious, and overnight, this guy, he was just having all of these parties at his mansion. One night, after a few drinks, this was after a very long time, telling him that I wanted him to invite me to one of his parties because I was his blood, I was his cousin. But he kept on saying that you don't have class yet. He said that he still wanted to give me some class, so he was giving me some money so that I can buy expensive clothes and learn how to be around rich people, so he said. One night he invited me. After a few drinks, I asked him how he did it. He looked at me dead in the eyes and said, "Are you ready to do whatever it takes?" I laughed it off, but I could not stop thinking about it. Days passed and my frustrations kept building up. No job, no money, nothing but disappointment. That was when I called my cousin Tando and I asked him to explain what he meant the night when he told me that if I was ready to do whatever that it could take, he was going to assist me. I thought maybe he had some sort of business deal, or maybe he had gotten lucky. But when he told me that it was all because of Ukuthwala rituals, I didn't believe him at first. I had heard of it, but I never really thought that it was real. He told me about this traditional healer. This traditional healer could be found in KwaZulu-Natal, who could help me to get everything that I ever wanted. Money, cars, status, but there was a price. A sacrifice. It was like something out of a horror movie, but the desperation I felt made it easier to consider, and so I went. My cousin brother took me to this remote village, and when we went to that remote village, that was when we met the healer. The healer was an old man with scars all over his body, and his eyes looked like they could see straight through me. He knew things about my life that I had never told anyone. He asked me what I wanted, and without thinking, I said, "I want to be rich, old man." He smiled, but it was not a friendly smile. He told me that the ancestors were listening, but I had to be ready to give them whatever they wanted. At that moment, I should have turned around and left, but my greed and my desperation clouded my judgment. The next part still makes my stomach to be very sick. The healer told me that I needed to sacrifice someone that was close to me, someone whose blood would open the gates to wealth. I was horrified, and I could not just kill anyone. But he said that it will not be like that. He told me that it's not like you are going to hire someone to get this person killed. The ancestors, your ancestors will take care of it. You do not have to get your hands dirty. All that I had to do was to pick the person, perform the ritual, and wait. The person that I picked was my young sister. I hate myself for it, even as I say it aloud, but at the time I convinced myself that maybe it would not even happen, that maybe it was all just some kind of spiritual nonsense. But the healer was dead serious. He gave me a small bottle filled with some kind of thick, dark liquid and told me to pour it into her food or drink without her knowing. And the most important part about it was that I was the one who was supposed to buy. If it was the juice, I had to buy the juice. That was it. I could not sleep for days and days. I kept that bottle hidden, but every time that I looked at it, I felt this horrible darkness growing inside of me. One night, Brother Nashi, I went out and then I asked her on my way back if I should pass through McDonald's and buy something for her, and she said yes. So I then bought whatever that she wanted. So I took that small bottle and I poured the liquid into one of the milkshakes that I had bought for her. I returned back home and I said, come, let us watch a movie together. We watched a movie, and then Brother Nashi, after she drank without suspecting anything, she said, I have a terrible stomach ache. She was up and down going to the toilet. At first, it was just that stomach ache, and I said, that ritual was fake, and I had worried for nothing. But a few weeks later, my sister got sick, like really, really sick. No one could not even explain what was wrong with her. The doctors ran tests, but they found nothing. She kept on getting worse, as if there was something that was sucking her blood. It was like someone who was HIV positive and was not on any treatment. She was getting thinner and thinner by the day and really weak. She passed away. I cried, but deep down I knew that it was my fault. I knew that it was the ritual on the day of the funeral, even though I was crying, but I knew that I was not only crying for my little sister whom I had sacrificed, but I was crying because of the evil thing that I had done. I cried, but deep down, Brother Nashi, I told myself that at least the ritual had worked. Not long after that, money started coming my way. My business ideas started working. I got promotions, and soon I was living the life that I had dreamed of. But I didn't feel right. Every time I looked in the mirror, I saw the price that I had paid for my wealth. My sister's face haunted me every single night. I could not escape the guilt no matter how much I had. And then the nightmares began. In some dreams, I would see something else, a dark shadowy figure standing beside her. The healer told me that it was just the ancestors, but it felt more like something was evil, something that had been unleashed the moment that I had performed that ritual. Fast forward to today, the money, it is still there, but so is the darkness, the demons. My life is filled with constant fear and regret. I have tried going back to the healer to reverse the ritual, but he says it is too late. He even warned me that if I tried to break the deal that I had with the ancestors, something worse can happen to me. I don't know what to do anymore. I thought that Ukuthwala rituals were going to solve my problems, but all that they did was that they ruined my life. If you are thinking about doing it, I am telling you, it is not even worth it. I am living proof that these demons, no matter what kind of a deal you do with them, but they will keep on coming back. I am asking for help. If there is anyone who knows how to reverse these things, please tell me. I don't care about the money anymore. I just want peace. I want to sleep without nightmares, without seeing my sister's face accusing me in my dreams. I am tired. Sometimes when I am driving, I even tell myself to shift the lane. If I see that there is a truck that is oncoming when I will be traveling at a high speed, I said, what will happen if I just cause an accident and die? Brother Nashi, most of the accidents that you hear on the road that are not explainable, it is because someone will be tired of living, especially when you are receiving these spiritual attacks, knowing that there is no heaven or a paradise for you. You can do anything. Dear listeners, right there was a message that was sent to me by one of our sister who gave us this translation. Strange things indeed, they do happen in this world. Yo.